I'm Tony Poulos, and I'm here today with Ron Raffensperger, who is the CTO of the IT business unit at Huawei. Ron, great to meet you. I know you're an expert in the data center area, but I really want to understand a few things first. How are businesses today managing to transition from managing multiple data centers to, say, the cloud?
Well, right now they're generally not. And I think this is one of the major challenges going forward, because we've seen lots of consolidation in different industries, and so businesses end up with multiple data centers. Their real challenge becomes kind of like in the US we have a saying about it's hard to remember that your goal was to clean out the swamp when you're up to your waist in alligators. And so many IT organizations are constantly challenged with just keeping things running, and they really haven't had the opportunity or the capability to look across the landscape and understand some of the advantages, some of the efficiencies, some of the ways that they could help transform their businesses if they could look at all of these different silos of computing and of data center that they have, and particularly as more and more gets done in a public cloud, right? I mean, we have an awful lot of cases where individual departments have gone and used the corporate credit card to buy Amazon Web Services to do stuff, or they're using software as a service. And there's right now, those are, again, more islands. And so there's a very strong need to be able to tie all this together. But in general, most businesses aren't very far along.
Are existing data center architectures accommodating enough, or do we have to come up with some new technology?
One of the challenges is that many of the data center technologies are related to efficiency, and they're focused on how can I get the same amount of work or more work with a lower expenditure of my data center equipment. And so there's been a lot of, we'll put in virtualization, and a lot of the solutions are proprietary, they're closed. And so that as you try to connect those together, you're forced into then more proprietary solutions. So I think this is a big challenge.
And how is Huawei helping industry to resolve some of these issues?
So Huawei is very focused around trying to create open solutions. And so we have come up with a concept we call the Distributed Cloud Data Center, or DC squared, which is the concept of being able to manage multiple physical data centers, and they could be public cloud, they could be private cloud in your own physical data center, but manage them all as one logical whole, and in fact be able to subdivide them into virtual data centers, so that I could give my accounting organization what looks like their own data center. They can manage it themselves, they can control it, but it's actually taking advantage of the overall efficiencies of my complete IT setup, including public cloud.
And how important is it to differentiate services to, say, meet service level agreements, for example?
Well, this is one of the things that's interesting, is because when we moved to virtualization, that we actually lost something. And when I had that, when I could go point at that rack of equipment and say, that's my ERP system. If somebody called up the IT organization and said, I'm getting a really bad response when I type in, to the ERP system, it's taking forever, right? I knew where to go look, right? It's in that set of racks of equipment. And it's maybe I need faster networking, maybe I need more servers, more storage, but we knew where to look. When we moved into virtualization, now, where's my ERP system? Right? It's over there. Oh no, it's over there. Now it's over there, right? And we never put in place the structure to be able to manage services. And so when somebody calls up and says, I'm getting really bad response, when I type into the ERP system, there's no way to know where's the problem, right? It could be anywhere, right? And maybe 5 minutes from now, they won't have that same problem. And so we've actually expanded our original concept of the distributed cloud data center to be service-driven, because we've expanded the concept around what we call resource pools. So not just virtualization, but I can say this set of resources needs to have this amount of storage bandwidth, it needs to have this amount of network bandwidth, it needs to have, you know, a jitter of less than this, right? And so by being able to add that definition into the virtualization pods, if you will, then we can now address the issues like, you know, making sure that the high priority things actually run well.
And I was going to ask you how this is done, but you've explained it so well. Ron, great to catch up with you, and thank you so much for explaining things in terms that I can understand as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.